Today I am speaking, today I mean to say in this video, I'm speaking about the mini milestone project. So this is our mini milestone project. So just like last time, let me quickly go ahead and run this project. So there we go. I'm going to use the preview extension. There it is. I'm going to copy the URL. And as I mentioned before, I'll be using Firefox throughout the course. So there you go. This is the mini milestone project that you will be building at the end of the course. So let me highlight a few key things here. But before that, let me just quickly switch back to my presentation. So in this mini project, our goal is simple. This is something we'll build at the end of this course. And the idea is that you will be able to apply everything that we have taught you throughout this course. So you'll be applying your HTML skills, you'll be applying your CSS skills, you'll be applying JavaScript skills, you'll be applying your Bootstrap skills, you'll be using JIT tools throughout, and you have to use it. And then you're going to be using browser developer tools. And obviously, we'll also show you how to deploy this so that it becomes like a real website that you can share with your friends and future employees and showcase it on your resume and stuff. So there you go. Now this is the project I'm talking about. I have the code here. Let me keep them side by side. You can see this is the first thing. Like, look at that. See, as I change the size of the window, the website is automatically responding to the change in size. So that means this website that you will be building will work on computers, it'll work on mobile phones, it'll work on tablets, whatever size of the screen, the website will work. So that is called responsive design. So there you go. That is something you'll be doing. And this responsive design is courtesy of Bootstrap, because as I've shown before as well, I'm not using much of CSS. So all this responsive design features are coming from Bootstrap. And this is something I really want to emphasize for a beginner developer. And I'm sure I'll talk about this when I jump into CSS. CSS can be tricky. Even though I've been coding for so many years, even today, CSS is kind of like intimidating to me. Like HTML is fine, JavaScript is fine, big frameworks, all those things that I worked for so many years, none of them scare me as much as CSS. For me, CSS is almost like a painting or artwork. You need to have a creative side, a creative approach when it comes to development. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm not creative. I could be creative. I do have hobbies as photography. I even do some artwork and stuff. So, but still, CSS can get intimidating. So I always tell beginners, try to use something that reduces the burden of CSS on your shoulders. I mean, we have a few chapters on CSS, but as far as beginners are concerned, like how in this mini project, we are not using much of CSS. We are literally offloading all the CSS effort into Bootstrap just to make your life a little easy in the early days of your programming. Now, eventually, as you grow as a developer, you have to learn CSS. You have to get deeper. You have to have an advanced knowledge about CSS. You cannot escape that. I cannot escape it. You cannot escape it. You need to know CSS. However, in the beginning, I would say you can make your life that much easier by using Bootstrap. So whatever responsiveness you're seeing here, all of that is coming from Bootstrap. So we'll be using Bootstrap, and we have a few chapters on Bootstrap as well. And you can see here that we also are using what is called as an API. Now that is actually an advanced step. Okay, so let me just open that here. So in programming, any kind of web development, whether it is front end or back end, the knowledge of APIs, how to build them and how to consume them is a very basic feature. Now, over the years, consuming and building APIs has become easy. So that is a good thing. However, it still has its own challenges. Okay, so that is why, even though it is a little bit of advanced step, we have decided that, okay, even though this is a beginner course, it is still essential, even if it's a little challenging for a first timer, to learn how to use an API, what it looks like, and how to consume it. Very, very essential. I mean, we only put the essential in this course. So this is like some tutors may consider this non-essential because it is an advanced step, but I personally feel you should be able to consume a simple API. Now this one is a very simple API, uh, and you know, again, once again, it's all about exposing you to concepts so that later you can become a more advanced developer and dig deeper into these things. Okay, so you will be learning how to use APIs, you'll be learning how to consume APIs, how to use JSON. So again, some folks might feel that is an advanced concept, but I feel it is a beginner idea. You have to know it. So that is included as well in our mini project. Next thing, you can also see that we have some different font styles, some dividers, you know, how to use buttons, like, you know, and how to show images, how to showcase images, how to use images, how to use folders here, how to use index.html, how to write HTML. And again, you can see here that we are using Bootstrap, how to include libraries, how to include fonts, how to include style sheets. Again, so there you go, that is how to include Bootstrap. Again, at the end, you'll see here that we are using the Bootstrap library, how to use libraries. We are using the Popper library, again, how to use Popper libraries. Also, you can see here that it's all responsive and everything. And when you click on this button, you know, the whole web app changes. You know, the difference between website and web app, I keep using the word interchangeably. A website is something that simply shows things, it doesn't react to you. Okay, so if I just keep it like this and don't do anything, now that would be a website. It has some information and then that's it. However, when I click on this button will talk to the NASA API. Okay, so the NASA API server will send some data, and then depending on the data, the information on the website is changing. So every day, NASA API gives a different image. Every day, the NASA API gives different information. So tomorrow, if I open the same code and I come back and click on this button, I'll have different information. So it is interactive. So that is when we like to use the word web app. So essentially you're building a very simple web app, but a web app nevertheless, you know, like the cooking example, you are only making coffee, but it is still a well-made coffee, and it sets the foundation for you to become a better cook tomorrow if you're so inclined. Similarly, being able to use all these tools, like obviously when you're building this project, you will learn how to use VS Code, you will learn how to use GitHub, you learn how to deploy, you learn how to debug, you learn how to write JavaScript. Look at that. That is a lot of JavaScript, almost 100 lines of JavaScript. You'll be able to write these things. You'll understand each and every line. What is happening? How is it happening? So this is what we promise you at the end of this course. So you will be building this specific mini milestone project. So there you go, folks. So that is what we have for you in store. So in the next chapters, we'll start with HTML and then move on to CSS and Bootstrap and JavaScript and all the related topics that we have promised in these introduction videos. Okay, so thank you, and I wish you all the best for your the beginning of your developer journey.